1-1 delivery. Sweat misses high and outside. 2-1 the count. Gol'Diggers is a ball club. And Mike and I talked about this in the pregame. A .231 hitting ball club right now. 6 home runs, 39 RBIs collectively. The 2-1 pitch. That's going to be hit on the ground. Should be 2. To second for 1. Throw on to first is going to not be in time. Nice play there. Miles Austin, the second baseman, to the shortstop. Ethan Stamps to get the lead runner in Brocious, but couldn't turn the throw in time over to first. And there's 2 down, but still a runner at first, Mike, for the Gol'Diggers.
Yep, goes 4-6 if you're scoring at home. That brings up Riley Stanford, the first baseman from Beaufort High.
Stanford, the Georgia Tech product. First pitch, Sweat fouls this one off. Rolls over in front of the Atlanta Blues dugout.
And we mentioned too, Dave, you see it on your level, is you're talking about a true student athlete when you play for the Yellow Jackets.
No question, you're playing at the ACC level. No balls and a strike. Sweat keeps an eye on the runner at first, delivers pitch in the dirt, ricochets off the shin guard of Pauser, and the runner will advance down to second.
And we always mention too, Dave, there's 90 feet of space between home plate and the backstop here at Ivy Watson Field. And if your ricochets off, you might could add another base instead of just getting 1.
So now 2 down here in the bottom of the first. A 1-ball, 1-strike count here to Stanford. And a runner at second. Sweat so far has struck out 1, has hit a batter in Brocious. They just missed out on turning a double play. Breaking ball missed up top. And the count now 2 balls and a strike.
The 2 out here would give the Gol'Diggers a lead at the bottom of the first inning.
If Stanford can keep the inning alive, the extra hitter Brady Moore getting loosened up down to the on-deck circle. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Sweat. Delivers, that's fouled back right towards us here in the press box. And the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So all 2s out on the board out in left field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. With a runner down at second here for the Gol'Diggers. Again, a good pitching matchup tonight with Sweat and Dietz on the hill for both ball clubs. 2-2 pitch, down low in the dirt. Nice block there by Pauser. And that'll run the count full now, 3-2.
You get the picture of the beautiful scoreboard in left field, the beautiful red fence we have at the wall at Ivy Watson Field.
365 straightaway center, the big red fence in center field, as Mike was referencing. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Sweat from the stretch, delivers, hit on the ground. It's going to be fouled just to the left of the bag at third.
Thought he might have a base hit there to give the Diggers the lead. And a great batting eye with that big red wall out there in center field, Dave. You get a great look at the ball coming off the pitcher's glove in his hand.
Count remains full here to Stanford. The Gol'Diggers first baseman. Runner down at second, 2 down. Sweat glances down to second, and he will spin off the rubber.
You mentioned Riley playing at Georgia Tech. Of course, Mike Owings began his college career at Georgia Tech back in the day.
Before heading to play for the Green Wave. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's going to be hit on the ground to Stamps. At short, throw across. Will pull the first baseman Hudson off, but he will still be able to make the tag for out number 3. And so for the Gol'Diggers, 6-3 on that put out of Riley Stanford, hit on the ground to short. They're going to leave a runner at second. We're scoreless, Mike, as we head to the second inning here in Gainesville.
And for the Diggers in the first inning for Gainesville, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. At the end of 1, it is Gainesville nothing and the Blues nothing. As you're tuned to Sunbelt League Baseball on 97.5 Glory FM.
No hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. Umpires for tonight's game behind the plate, Bailey Dutton. Down on the first baseline, John Walrad. Third baseline, Rusty Griffin.
Pardon me? Okay, no problem. On your home of the Gol'Diggers, 97.5 Glory FM. And keeping our eye on the skies as we got to play 5 like in Major League Baseball. Dave to make it an official game.
Right now looks pretty good. Temperatures feel like they've dropped a little bit after some rain earlier. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Blues here in the top half of the second. The shortstop, Ethan Stamps, leading things off. He takes strike 1 on a fastball in the lower outside corner from Tyler Dietz. Stamps, a junior from Jackson, Georgia, or Madison, Georgia, I should say, hitting 176 in 6 games this year. 3 hits. He's hit 1 home run, has driven in 7. 1 ball, 1 strike count. It'll be Stamps, Dylan Jones, Brendan Hudson here in the Blues half of the second. Swing and a miss at a fastball, a little high and inside, a ball and 2 strikes the count. Again, the Atlanta Blues 5-5 as a ball club through 10 games, hitting .236. And surprisingly, they've hit just 1 home run this year, 6 for the Gol'Diggers. Fastball down the middle, swung at, fouled off to the back screen. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Just checking the weather today. It was down 77 degrees here at Ivy Watson.
Feels a little cooler after that rainstorm about an hour and a half ago. Pitch from Dietz, inside, fouled off over towards the Gol'Diggers dugout here at Ivy Watson. Still a ball and 2 strikes the count. Stamps, a junior, listed as undecided with regards to his college. Again, in 6 games, hitting 176. Here's the 1-2 pitch, way outside, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But how many times now are you seeing even players on your level that are undecided, Dave? The transfer portal.
It's totally changed college athletics with regards to keeping up with players and where they decide to play from year in and year out. This one hit into the air on the 2-2 pitch out in right field. Underneath it for the Gol'Diggers, Caleb Ellard, the sophomore from Mercer out of Rome, Georgia, makes the catch for out number 1 here in the second. So F9 on the putout brings up the extra hitter, Dylan Jones.
Now batting number 9, Dylan Jones.
Dylan Jones, a .348 hitter. He's from Atlanta, 6'3", 215, sophomore from Allegheny Community College. 8 hits, 6 RBIs on the season. Right-handed hitter steps in and looks at strike 1 on a fastball, comes in a little low, caught just enough of that lower portion of the strike zone, and it's an 0-1 count. One down here in the top of the second. Dietz comes set, the 0-1 pitch. Georgia, currently hitting 188, 3 hits. Mike.
Got by Stewart, as you mentioned there, Dave, and of course got a nice little bounce off the backstop fence here.
Ball and no strikes the count here to Hudson. Stamps a fly ball out to right. Jones hit by a pitch and advancing on the wild pitch, now down at second. The 1-0 to Hudson, missed low and outside, ball 2.
They heard the wildest thing the other night listening to the Atlanta Braves broadcast is that we're running on second base. They were using, I think, a pitch comp, where it was just basically not using the signs anymore. They were using electronically signs.
Dietz, the 2-0 delivery. Strike on the outside corner. Runs it now to 2-1.
That's where technology is going on the major league level.
Technology, Mike, is making its way into really all levels of baseball. Even the Sun Belt Conference is going to go to video replay this coming season, which we had down in Montgomery a few weeks ago at the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Dietz delivers fastball, misses outside a little high. And the count now, 3 balls and a strike. 1 out, 1 on here for the Blues.
I guess the question of video replay is what can be replayed and what cannot be replayed.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch. Dietz a quick glance down to second. Turns, delivers. Missed outside, ball 4.
So he's lost the strike zone the last couple of batters, Dave. Hitting the batter and now walking the next man after the wild pitch.
Brings up the catcher, Cameron Pauser. Plays his college baseball at Lincoln Memorial University. He's in at Marietta Product. He's a sophomore. Tonight playing in his 9th game of the season. The prior 8.
Batting number 11, Cameron Pauser.
Hitting 154. He's got 2 hits on the year. He's driven in 2 and has scored 1 run. So right now with 1 out, first and second here for the Blues. Fastball outside, ball 1.
To play the nickname game tonight, Dave, at the Lincoln Memorial.
You got me on that one, Mike.
You'll love it. I'll tell you in a moment.
Dietz from the stretch, 1-0 pitch. Fastball high and inside, letter high on the front of the jersey.
We've already had the Privateers in New Orleans. How about now the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters?
Did not know that. Two balls, no strikes the count. Dietz comes set. Checking the runner down at second. Fastball caught the inside corner. And it's now 2 balls and a strike.
Needed that strike there, Dave.
Two 2-1 pitch on the way. Pauser, the catcher, digs in. The pitch from Dietz. Popped up, foul territory over on the first base side. And it will land on the other side of the fence, no play. Count even now 2-2.
If it had been fair, maybe had seen an infield fly rule called, as they said, going out of play.
Two balls, 2 strikes to the count, 1 out, 2 on here for the Blues. Top of the second here from Gainesville, Georgia tonight. Dietz the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be hit on the ground to second. Scooped up to second for 1, throw on to first in time. And they turn the double play. 4-6-3. Pauser hits into the double play, and that'll close the Blues out, Mike, here in the top half of the second.
And for the Blues here in the second, they had no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Will go to the bottom of the second inning. So looking for a run. It's Gainesville nothing and the Atlanta Blues nothing as you're tuned to Sun Belt League Baseball on 97.5 Glory FM. Evening here on 97.5 Glory FM. We'd love to know where you're listening to our broadcast. You can always send a text to us to 470-660-1799. Again, the text line is 470-660-1799 as we bring you the Sun Belt League game between the Atlanta Blues and the Gainesville Gol'Diggers. Bottom of the second inning. Doing some runs here, Dave.
5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Gainesville Gol'Diggers. It'll be Brady Moore, the extra hitter, Clay Alberson, the third baseman, And Bobby Bozer, the shortstop. Again, the Gol'Diggers sent 4 to the plate in the bottom half of the first. Nothing going. Dawson Sweat getting a couple of final warm-up tosses here with Cameron Pauser, and we will head to the bottom half of the second here in Gainesville. Scoreless between the Gol'Diggers and the Blues. Again, they'll play again tomorrow night down at the ballpark in Panthersville.
Game time is 7:05 tomorrow night.
Number 17, Brady Moore.
Extra hitter Brady Moore will lead things off here in the second for the Gol'Diggers. It's from Talking Rock, currently hitting .364 as he takes a strike on the first pitch. He's got 6 RBIs on the year. The left-hander Dawson Sweat's 0-1 pitch. That one missed inside, and is that another hit batsman? I believe it is, says the home plate umpire. So Gol'Diggers have the leadoff hitter aboard, Mike, here in the second.
Last inning, it took the second batter before he reached on a hit batter. So now we've had 2 hits so far here in the ball game.
Batting number 5.
Brings
Clay
up the
Alberson.
third baseman Clay Alberson, sophomore from North Greenville University. He's out of Pelzer, South Carolina. Tonight playing in his 8th game of the season, hitting .208. He's got 5 hits, including 1 RBI. First pitch, Sweat, missed inside, just below the letters, taken for ball 1.
And Pelzer is one of those historic cities, the old mill village there. If you go maybe from I-85 over to 24, going toward Myrtle Beach or Columbia, you'll go through Pelzer, an outstanding old city.
A 1-0 pitch. That one here is ripped out into left field. Shading over to make the catch out in left field for the Blues is Angelo Ramirez. And there's 1 out. Still a runner at first here for the Gol'Diggers. About the first out here in the bottom of the second. Fly ball out to left.
Batting for the Gol'Diggers, number 8, Bobby Bozer.
Brings up Bobby Bozer, the shortstop. Senior from South Florida. Has played in 8 games this year, hitting a .192. Has driven in 4 on 5 hits this year. First pitch, Dawson Sweat, breaking ball missed up top, a little outside, ball 1.
And I had a question. I don't know where the Bulls play their home games with South Florida. If they play at Georgetown Benner or if they have a field on campus.
Sweat's 0-1, runner goes with the pitch. This hit out into right center, and it's going to go a long way, and it's gone. Couldn't tell right away off the bat of Bobby Bozer, but he puts that over the fence in right center, and the Gol'Diggers are off to a 2-0 start here in the bottom half of inning number 2.
With their first big hit, a big fly that went to the right side. It kept going, and it's gone. And the Diggers lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning.
How big is that at bat by Brady Moore to be hit by a pitch? He ends up scoring.
26, Caleb Eller.
And they get to Dawson Sweat for the 2-run home run over the fence in right center. 7th home run of the season for the Gainesville Gol'Diggers, and it puts them up 2-0 here in the bottom half of the second inning.
And their third we've seen in the last 2 games here hit at Ivy Watson Field.
RBIs on the season, number 40 and 41. Get out of the way, sharply hit but foul third base side. And that's Caleb Ellard, the right fielder.
And you see they're scoring a lot of runs today in their first 9 games, now going into their 10th game.
Ellard, a sophomore from Rome, Georgia. Plays his college ball in Macon at Mercer. Swing and a miss on the 0-2. He's down on strikes. Aggressive at the plate. Ellard down on strikes for the second out of the inning. And it will bring up the number 8 hitter, or make that the number 9 hitter in the order, and that's the catcher, Sam Stewart.
Number 28, Sam Stewart.
Stewart, a junior, another Mercer Bear product, but he's from right here in Gainesville. And looks at strike 1 on the first pitch from Dawson Sweat.
And what's nice too, Dave, is that Coach Owings has 3 catchers on his roster that all play.
Left-hander into the wide. Missed on the outside. Nope. Home plate umpire calls that a strike. And it's quickly a no-ball, 2-strike count.
And the umpires have had very generous outside calls throughout the season, Dave.
Here's the 0-2. Same location. How about a called third strike? So after giving up the 2-run home run, The Atlanta Blues left-hander Dawson Sweat comes back and gets Ellard and Stewart on strikeouts, and that'll close the Gol'Diggers out here in the second inning, Mike. But a two-run home run from the shortstop Bobby Boser has put the Gol'Diggers in front as we head to the third.
It's 2-0 Gol'Diggers. They scored 2 runs on 1 hit. Nobody left. And we'll go to the third. It's Gainesville 2, the Blues nothing is your tune. The Gainesville Gol'Diggers baseball on 97.5 Glory FM.
It was 1989, my thoughts were short, my hair was long. Caught somewhere between a boy and man. She was 17 and she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life, like when and where. We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song. Sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Catching your eye from the dock, watching the waves roll off the rocks. She'll forever hold a spot inside my soul. We've missed
Now batting number 4, Chandler Hitt.
97.5 Glory FM to hear tonight's ball game.
Bottom third of the order here in the third for the Blues. 8, 9, and 10 hitters. And Chandler Hicks gets underneath this one, drives this one into right center, off the base of the wall at right center. Makes the turn and will slide in first in the second. Leadoff double from Chandler Hicks, the freshman from Andrew College out of Covington, Georgia. Blues lead off with a double off the wall in right center.
And their first hit of the ball game, first pitch swinging.
Now batting number 15, Jaden Anderson.
For the freshman, that's his 4th hit of the summer. It is Jaden Anderson, the right fielder. He's hit on the ground, and that's going to be a fair ball just over the bag at third. The Blues are going to go ahead and score. Hicks will come around third, and he will score. And sliding safely into second with a double is Jaden Anderson, the freshman from Duluth, the 286 hitter. We've got a 2-1 ball game right here in the top half of the third.
Back-to-back doubles, and they've been very aggressive also, Dave.
Now batting number 33, Jeremy Clark.
The RBI double from Jaden Anderson. That's his 5th hit of the season. Picks up RBI number 3. And number 10 hitter is the third baseman, Jeremy Clark, here for the Atlanta Blues. One on 2 hits, no errors for the Blues, 2 runs. On a hit, no errors for the Gol'Diggers. First pitch, fastball high and inside, chest high there, back to Clark up. And he's taking ball 1. 2-1 ball game here in the third. The offense is might start to heat up a little bit.
Yep, and again, some control issues there for our pitcher.
Fastball swung at and missed. By Jeremy Clark. Deeds comes set, 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Checks the runner down at second. Back-to-back doubles to lead off the third. Get out of the ways. That foul ball line drive right into the Gol'Diggers dugout. And then one of the assistant coaches there for Gainesville, Mike.
About to say,
That Coach Carpenter?
could be.
Yeah.
Hope Chris is okay.
Being tended to right now by the team medical trainer.
Now batting number 1, Angelo Ramirez.
3 strikeouts for Tyler Dietz so far tonight. The first one was Angelo Ramirez. Lefty bat steps back in his second plate appearance here in the ballgame. Lower outside corner. Line to the count here 0-1. Ramirez again, a player at Gainesville Community College. Swing and miss, fastball outside corner, it's 0-2. You know the mascot for Gainesville Community College?
I do know where
I'd be
Gainesville is
really
located.
impressed if you knew that.
I knew where Gainesville was, maybe so.
Well, maybe after the ball game you can check with Ramirez. He's behind in the count right now. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, a runner down at second. Dietz delivers fastball way low and outside the zone, just to the left of home plate. From our vantage point, it's 1-2.
I'm assuming though, like community college has got to be a 2-year school.
Yeah. Dietz the sign from Stewart. And the pitch. That's lofted into the air, into left field. Parker Brocious underneath it makes the catch for out number 2. Fly ball out to left. F7 on the put out. So 2 down here. Runner still down at second base, and Jaden Anderson. And we'll bring up the second baseman,
3,
Miles Austin, who grounded out to short back in the first inning. Austin, again, a sophomore, plays at the University of New Orleans. And tonight playing in his 5th game of the season, came in hitting .438 with 7 hits, including 2 RBIs. First pitch on the way from Dietz, and that's hit in the air, foul, first base side. No balls and a strike.
And a lot of foul balls hit the right-hand side here at Ivy Watsonville for some reason. And with the Blues with back-to-back doubles to start this inning, they've cut into the leads now 2-1 Gol'Diggers.
A run on 2 hits to this point for the Blues. They've got 2 down. Here's the pitch from Dietz. That's chopped foul right over towards their Blues dugout. And the count down, no balls and 2 strikes. Austin looking to get this ball in play with the tying run down at second base. Dietz looking for his 4th strikeout of the ball game to this point. He's ahead 0-2. Out of the stretch. The 0-2 fastball, that's hit in the air out into right field. Underneath it, making the catch for the Gol'Diggers is Caleb Ellard, the sophomore from Mercer. And that'll be out number 3. So a couple of fly ball outs with 1 out. 1 to left, 1 to right off the bats of Ramirez and Austin. And they will strand a runner at second. Mike, it's a 2-1 ball game as we head to the bottom half of inning number 3.
And for the Blues in the inning, they had 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, a man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's now Gainesville 2, the Blues 1 on 97.5 Glory FM. Gaily this evening. Joe's back with us next Wednesday for our next broadcast of Gol'Diggers baseball. Always good to have Dave. May get him to fill in for me maybe later. Lead by 1 run here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Always a pleasure to sit in with you, Mike, and best to Joe as well. Again, you said he'll be back next week. The number 10, 1 and 2 hitters due up for the Gol'Diggers here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Bryce Roddy, the second baseman, leading 33. He's got 1 hit on the year. As he takes strike 2, it's a no-ball, 2-strike count. Again, Dawson Sweat back to pitch the 3rd here for the Blues. Hits on the year in 8 ball games, a .321 hitter, swing and a miss at the 0-1 delivery. And he's behind in the count quickly. No Sanders 0-2 pitch. Swung at, missed. He struck out Jackson for the 2nd time. And Dawson Sweat has struck out 5 here as we play the bottom half of inning number 3.
Again, very reminiscent of the game last week when it was Columbus and the Gol'Diggers just throwing up Ks left and right last Wednesday.
Breaks up the left fielder, hitting second in the order, Parker Brocious. Brocious hit by a pitch, back in the 1st. Sweat into the wide. Here's run at second to throw to Hudson, and quickly 2 down.
And that's the way to turn it.
6-4-3 double play.
Good chemistry up the middle, you can see, Dave.
Number 9, Dylan Jones.
And it will bring up Dylan Jones. He was hit by a pitch. Back in the 2nd. A .348 hitter with 8 hits on the year. First pitch, Dietz. Sharply hit, but foul, 3rd base side, just to the left of the bag at 3rd. And the 3rd base umpire, Rusty Griffin.
Local product who also has umpire on all levels.
Well, no balls and a strike. Errant baseball makes its way into left field, so time called. It's a no ball, 1-strike count here to Dylan Jones. He's one of the 2 extra hitters. Dietz comes set. Fastball straight on but low. And the count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike.
This year, no DH in the Sun Belt League. They're going with just the 2 extra hitters, so the pitchers don't bat. So you have basically an extra hitter there for him.
1-1 pitch on the way. Right-hander winds, delivers a 1-hopper to 3rd. Alberson. The throw on to Hudson at first. 5-3 on the putout. And the Blues go quickly and quietly here in the top half of the 4th, Mike.
After that leadoff walk, the double play really helped. They'll do it for the Blues here in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 4th inning. It's still Gainesville 2, the Blues 1 on 97.5 Glory FM.
The Gainesville Gol'Diggers would like to wish a happy birthday to Mr. Dan Gunyon.
As Dawson Sweat delivers strike 1 on the first pitch to Riley Stanford. Stanford a ground out to short. It is only previous plate appearance that closed out the 1st inning. Second pitch, hit into the air. This is going to be shallow right. It's going to drop in front of Ellard, who couldn't get there in time. Also giving chase was Bryce Roddy, but it's going to be a leadoff single. A correction out in right field. Jaden Anderson couldn't get to it in time, and Riley Stanford has a leadoff single here to start the fourth for Gainesville.
Almost like he had a little trouble picking the ball up, Dave.
Yeah.
Batting for the Gol'Diggers, number 17, Brady Moore.
So here's the extra hitter, Brady Moore, hit by a pitch. He was aboard when Boser hit that two-run home run off of Dawson Sweat. So nobody out, runner at first here for the Gol'Diggers. First pitch, and that's going to be a one-hopper to second. On to second for one, now on to first. They can't turn the double play. The ball just wasn't hit hard enough in order to turn the double play, but it was on the ground. Miles Austin to Ethan Stamps to get the lead runner, Mike, down at second base.
Yeah, trying maybe a little hit and run there, but you get Stanford out at second base at the first out of the inning.
So Brady Moore is aboard at first, one down here in the fourth. Here's Clay Alberson, the third baseman.
Clay Alberson.
Had a fly ball out to left field in his only previous plate appearance. Lefty Stick steps in to face the lefty Dawson Sweat. Drops a breaking ball in there for a strike. Nice pitch. It's 0-1. Alberson from North Greenville University. Again, a 208 hitter at the start of the game tonight. Runner goes with the pitch, and there will not be a throw down. The pitch was low and outside. It was just enough for Pauser to slide over to his left and keep the ball in front. Stolen base there from Brady Moore. He stands down at second base.
Brady got a good jump and also a good pitch to go on.
1 ball, 1 strike to count here to Alberson. Sweat comes set. Long glance down to second, turns and fires. This one hit into the air to center field. Out to Alan Greer, shading over. Left center makes the catch for the second out. Fires it back into the shortstop. Cutoff man Ethan Stamps. The runner will hold. Moore down at second base. Alberson retired on a fly ball out to left center for the second out here in the bottom of the fourth.
So now we need a 2-out hit to get some insurance here in the fourth inning.
Bobby Boser.
So it'll bring up the shortstop, Bobby Boser, who hit that 2-run home run back in the second inning. Again, 7th home run of the season collectively now for the Gainesville Gol'Diggers. Sweat a long glance down to second. Swung at, missed. A fastball rose a little high there from Sweat. No balls and a strike to count. Boser, again a senior, playing his college ball down in Tampa, South Florida. 192 coming into this game. That home run that he hit back in the second, his first. RBIs 5 and 6, hit number 6. Count even here, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sweat delivers. This one hit in the air. First base side, that's going to be a foul ball on the other side of the fence. That will land in the Gol'Diggers bullpen down the right field line. And it'll be a long, noisy strike. It'll run the count to 1-2 with 2 down here in the bottom half of the fourth. Again, a 2-1 lead here for the home team, the Gainesville Gol'Diggers, trying to win their 7th game of the season and make it 4 of the last 5. 1-2 count here to Boser. Sweat again, a long glance down to second. Missed with the breaking ball, low and outside. Count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
In fact, they'll be 7 out of 8. They lost their first 2 games of the season before rolling off 6 in a row.
Right now the Gol'Diggers holding down first place in the Sun Belt East. 2-2 pitch. That one hit in the air, center field, shading over to right field. Who's going to make the catch on it? It'll be Greer out in center, running over to make the catch in right center. And a couple of fly ball outs back-to-back from Alberson and Boser. Out to left and then right center will close The Gainesville Gol'Diggers out. Mike, nothing going after that leadoff single from Riley Stanford.
We go to the top of the 5th inning. It's still Gainesville 2 and the Blues 1. As you're tuned to Sunbelt League Baseball on 97.5 Glory FM. Getting some nice comments with our text messages. We got anybody here tonight? Nobody yet. Temperature's dropping down to where it's tolerable, to say the least, Dave, but also getting the team ahead here early on, leading 2-1.
On the backs of the Bobby Bozer 2-run home run back in the second, and then back-to-back doubles in the third on the other side of the scorebook for the Atlanta Blues from Chandler Hicks and Jaden Anderson. Anderson with the RBI double. Drove in Hicks, and we've got a 2-1 ball game here as we head to the top of inning number 5 at Ivy Watson here in Gainesville.
And we're just zipping along, as Ernie Johnson Sr. would say.
Don't say that, Mike. We'll be here till 11 now that you've said that.
You're not being paid by the hour, okay?
Exactly. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Blues. Brennan Hudson, the first baseman, who walked back in the second, leading things off. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Tyler Dietz, the right-hander from the University of South Florida, who's starting the 5th inning here tonight for Gainesville. The 0-1 hit foul on the third base side. Gol'Diggers are going to give chase. Running and making the catch is
Mayo?
the Gainesville, I believe that was the shortstop.
Okay.
One down here in the top half of inning number 5.
Good way to get started.
Batting number 11, Cameron Pauser.
It was Bobby Bozer that made the catch there for Gainesville.
So it goes F6 if you're scoring at home.
So Hudson retired. One down. And a strike on the first pitch to the catcher, Cameron Pauser. He grounded into the 4-6-3 double play back in the second. The 0-1 from Dietz. Fastball missed inside, belt high. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. 2-1 our score here in the 5th. The Gol'Diggers leading the Blues. 1-1 delivery. Again, inside, backs him up a step. And it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Two-one delivery on the way. Dietz comes set. Sign from Stewart. And that fastball, the upper portion of that strike zone, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You sort of wonder how liberal these home plate umpires have been with their strike zone, Dave, here in this summer league we have.
2-2 delivery way outside. Well, that was actually a 3-2 delivery. And it's going to be a 1-out walk. Pauser, patient at the plate, draws the walk. And here's Chandler Hicks. He had a double last time up back in the 3rd.
4, Chandler Hicks.
Let's see what kind of legs the catcher for the Blues has down at first base.
Hicks again from Covington. Freshman Andrew College hit 176 in 7 games so far this year. That number has gone up a little bit with that 3rd inning double. 1 ball, no strikes. Dietz delivers, and that one fouled off right back to the fence in front of us here in the press box.
If I'm not mistaken, Dave, Andrew College is down in South Georgia near the Florida line.
Count even here, 1 ball, 1 strike. One out, runner at first here for the Blues. Quick turn and throw back over to first there by Dietz. Again, no changes defensively for the Gol'Diggers. Riley Stanford over at first, Bryce Roddy at second, Bobby Boser at short, Clay Alberson at third. 1-1 pitch in the air left field, and that one looked good, it sounded good, and that's going to be a 2-run home run into the netting over the fence in left field. And the Atlanta Blues, on the second hit of the night from Chandler Hicks after the 3rd inning double, he rips a 2-run home run, Mike, over the fence in left field.
Yeah, you said it sounded good. It went good for them. And now the Gol'Diggers trail by a score of 3-2.
2-run home run, and that's just, according to their head coach, who I talked to before the game, Joe Austin, just the 2nd home run that this ball club has hit this year, this being their 11th game of the summer.
That tells you something about how the ball carries here at Ivy Watson, too.
Once again, how big was the walk issued to Cameron Pauser as he scores on the 2-run home run? First pitch, hit into the air out in right field. Underneath it is Ellard. That one off the bat of Jaden Anderson for the 2nd out here in the top half of inning number 5.
Very similar to the Gol'Diggers game that break when they had the batter hit by a pitch and he ends up scoring on the 2-run homer.
Exactly. Jeremy Clark, third baseman, hitting 10th with the extra hitters in the lineup tonight. He struck out back in the 3rd. First pitch from Dietz, and this one hit into the air, and it's going to shade over. Coming over to make the catch again for the Gol'Diggers is Ellard for out number 3. So a couple of back-to-back fly ball outs to Ellard in right after the 2-run home run from Hicks. Anderson and Clark, nothing going. And as we head now to the bottom of inning number 5 here at Ivy Watson in Gainesville, the Atlanta Blues, Mike, have taken a 1-run lead.
A new ball game as the Blues lead the Gol'Diggers 3-2. We're back to the bottom of the 5th after this timeout. As you're tuned to Gol'Diggers baseball on 97.5 Glory FM.
Dawson Sweat, the Georgia State product, back to pitch the 5th. He has struck out 5 in 4 innings. And he will face the number 8, 9, and 10 hitters here in the 5th inning. Caleb Ellard, the right fielder, leading things off here for the Gol'Diggers as he looks at ball 1 on the first pitch.
Each team with a 2-run homer so far in the game.
Ellard plays down at Mercer University in Macon. He's from Rome, Georgia. Looks at ball 2 from Sweat. Tonight playing in his 7th game. 125 hitter with a home run and 4 RBIs. He's got 3 hits so far this summer. As he looks at a strike on the 2-0 pitch. Nice movement on that 2-0 delivery there from Sweat. Ellard will be followed by Sam Stewart and Bryce Roddy. Left-hander Wines delivers, missed up top and outside. It's 3-1.
It's an interesting job for Coach Owings just managing the playing time for his position players, Dave. These guys, the coaches calling him, wanting them to have more players on the team.
3-1 pitch, low and outside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk. Puts the tying run at first with nobody out. It will bring up Sam Stewart, the catcher. He struck out back in the second. And before he steps into the batter's box, he will make his way down towards the third base coaching box. Have a quick word with head coach Mike Owings.
You can see what kind of play by him. Runner on first base. Again, the Gol'Diggers have been aggressive.
For the Gol'Diggers, number 28,
Stealing
Sam
a lot of
Stewart.
bases.
Oh, another Mercer. Again, this one, though, popped up behind home plate, and it's going to be caught by the catcher, Cameron Pauser, for out number 1. So,
Again, that's that out of his small ball by Owings.
yep.
And it's fundamental baseball, David.
So now 1 out, still runners at first and second. And we're at the top of the order again. It brings up the center fielder, Jackson Mayo. Mayo has struck out twice in his first 2 plate appearances.
Probably that ate myself. How about Chuck Tanner back in the day with the Atlanta Braves the day?
Yep, I remember. So the South Florida Bull product, Jackson Mayo, steps in. And that pitch, wild pitch from Sweat, it bounced up and may have gone over the fence. And the runners will advance now with 1 out. Gol'Diggers runners at second and third. Advancing on the wild.
Bull Durham type of wild pitch, Dave.
That bounced somewhere in and around home plate and then bounced up over the fence. A 1-0 count here to Mayo. He can add to his RBI total. He's got 9 hits, 4 RBIs on the season. 1-0 from Dawson Sweat. Left-hander delivers. Strike on the lower outside corner. And the count even here to Mayo. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another in the bottom of inning number 5. Sweat, fastball misses outside, 2-1.
A lot of
Sun now shining brightly over the just after 8 p.m. Eastern time here in the Gainesville, Georgia area. 3-3 game as we play the sixth. A 1-2 count here to Miles Austin. Fastball low in the dirt. Runner goes. Here's the throw from Stewart down to second. Coming over to cover the shortstop, Bobby Boser. That's going to be a stolen base there for Angelo Ramirez. Go-ahead run now down at second base with nobody out here in the sixth. A 2-2 count here to Miles Austin. Two balls, two strikes, and that's going to be a chopper on the ground to short. Fielded there by Boser. The throw on to Stanford at first in time for the first out. And there's one down. Runner holds at second.
And checking the temperature, Dave, it's still 77 degrees here at Ivy Watson Field.
Now the rain earlier this afternoon cooled things down a little bit.
Now batting number 6, Alan Greer.
Lights on here at the ballpark.
And the forecast calling for a high of around 90 tomorrow, a little cooler, thankfully.
Center fielder Alan Greer is 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out back in the first. And there's one out. And again, a runner in Ramirez down at second in this 3-3 ball game. Go-ahead run for the Blues aboard at second base. Grouse this one here right back up the middle. Runner going to move to third. The only play is going to be to first. Fielded there by the Gol'Diggers second baseman, Bryce Roddy. The throw on to Stanford in time for the second out, but it will advance the go-ahead run over to third where Ramirez is standing.
But you do have 2 outs in the inning. Now you just go ahead and get this one out, Dave. You're be in good shape stranding that runner at third.
For the Blues, number 26,
Brings up the shortstop, Ethan Stamps. Fly ball out to right field back in the second. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the fourth. 2 down here in the inning. Fastball outside corner to Stamps from Grouse, taken for strike one.
Yeah, 3-3 game.
Grouse comes set. The 0-1 delivery. Swung at, couldn't catch up to his fastball. He's ahead in the count here, 0-2. Upper 80s, low 90s on that last pitch there. From Austin Grouse from Valrico, Florida, the South Florida Bull hurler. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung at, missed, he struck him out. So after giving up the leadoff single to Ramirez, who will be stranded at third, it's a 3-3 ball game as we head to the bottom of the sixth.
And give him a glad hand going back to the Diggers dugout. He strands runner on third, no runs, a hit, no errors. That man left on base will go to the bottom half of the inning. With the score still tied. Gol'Diggers 3, Blues 3 here on 97.5 Glory FM. He strands runner on third base there in the sixth. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning, with the Diggers looking to take the lead.
3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here for the Gol'Diggers.
Now pitching for the Blues, number 10, Adam Henry.
And a new pitcher as we hear from our public address announcer for the Atlanta Blues. And that is number 10, Adam Henry from Atlanta. He is a 5'8" sophomore. And he is a right-handed hurler from North Carolina A&T University.
Which is now a member of the Big South Conference, if I remember correctly, this past year.
Yep.
And he's now the official pitcher of record for the Blues.
So Dawson Sweat struck out 5 as he gives way to Adam Henry.
Now batting for the Gol'Diggers.
John Anderson will lead
John
things off.
Anderson.
The extra hitter so far is grounded into a 4-6 put out and a fly ball out to center field. First pitch on the way from Henry, and the pitch a little high and inside, missed, taken for ball 1. Anderson from nearby Oakwood. This one hit on the ground towards the shortstop. Going to be a throw off the back foot, not going to get there in time. Going to be a leadoff single. And another hit for the Gainesville Gol'Diggers.
And gave that leadoff hitter on again, Dave. That's so important. You can do a lot of things when your leadoff man reaches base.
18, Riley Stanford.
O'Reilly Stanford will step in. Nobody out. Runner at first after the leadoff single. Stanford is grounded out to short. Came back with a single in the 4th. First pitch, Adam Henry. Changeup, off speed, swung at, missed, taken for a strike. It's 0-1. And the Gol'Diggers in their home burnt orange with black and yellow trim here tonight is the home ball club. The 0-1 from Henry. Fouled off to the back screen. No balls, 2 strikes the count.
I answered that question. I thought we'd go with a sacrifice bunt again, but no, he was swinging.
Stanford, a freshman, Georgia Tech from the Gainesville area. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes. Did he go around? They're going to check with the umpire down at first. It's going to be a stolen base by Anderson, who's now aboard down at second. Fortunate call there for Stanford. I wasn't sure if he went around on that at all.
I thought he did.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Runner down, the go-ahead run down at second with nobody out here in the 6th. Here's the pitch from Henry. Runner goes again, and a lunging swing, and it's caught. It's going to be a double play.
Wow.
It was a lunging swing. The ball went off the barrel of the bat. It was caught by the shortstop for the Blues, Ethan Stamps. Runner had already taken off. Anderson was 2/3 of the way to third base, and they doubled him up back at second. Now Micah Owings out to talk things over with the umpire over at second, and now the umpire from third is going to join the discussion. And it does not look like it's going the Gol'Diggers' way from Micah's response.
But Stanford just trying to protect the runner and just lunged at the ball and hit his bat. Ends up being a double play.
So that's a tough break for the Gol'Diggers right there.
17, Brady Moore.
After the leadoff single and the stolen base. Now there's 2 outs, nobody aboard. And it's the extra hitter, Brady Moore, hitting 5th in the order. He was hit by a pitch and was aboard for the 2-run home run back in the 2nd. Grounded out to a fielder's choice back in the 4th. So he takes strike 1 on the first pitch from Adam Henry. Boy, how fortunate does Adam Henry feel right now?
Oh, he has to feel blessed.
The right-hander into the wind, and that's going to be hit on the ground towards short. Backhanded scoop there by Stamps. The throw on to first in time. 6-3 on the putout as Moore is retired. And what started out as a promising bottom of the 6th ends quickly.
Leadoff man gets on, but he's retired in that double play there, in that wild play in the last at-bat. That'll do it for the Gol'Diggers here at the bottom of the 6th. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning. We're all tied. It is Gainesville 3 and the Atlanta Blues 3. You're tuned to Sun Belt League Baseball on 97.5 Glory FM. You're tuned to 97.5 Glory FM, your radio station for the Sun Belt League here at the Ivy Watson Baseball Field. Dave Cohen filling in for Joe Gailey this evening. Doing a great job as always, joining me for the play-by-play of Gol'Diggers baseball. Now down to a 3-inning game, Dave, to see who's going to win this ball game. All tied at 3.
And the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Atlanta Blues. Dylan Jones, Brennan Hudson, and Cameron Pauser, the catcher. So Jones will lead things off, was hit by a pitch back in the second,
Dylan Jones.
and then grounded out to third in the fourth.
Each team with a 2-run homer in tonight's game.
Jones came in hitting .348 with 8 hits on the year, as he looks at a strike from Grouse on the first pitch.
Who's in his second inning of work in relief for the Gol'Diggers.
No balls and a strike. 3 runs on 4 hits tonight for the Blues. Swung at, foul tip to the back screen over towards the Blues dugout. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Six RBIs on the year for Jones. There's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball couldn't get around fast enough down on strikes. And the 7th begins the way the 6th inning ended, as Grouse struck out Stamps to close out the 6th. Leads off the 7th with a strikeout of Dylan Jones.
And very few pitches, too.
Now batting number 24, Brennan Hudson.
Brings up Brennan Hudson. Walked in the second and popped out to short in the 6th inning on that really nice play, long run that Bozer made. Catch up to it. There's a strike on the outside corner, a fastball from Grouse. And it's a no ball, 1 strike count. From the stretch, right-hander misses outside. Count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Grouse comes set, the 1-1 delivery with 1 down here in the 7th. Fastball missed inside, just below the belt. And the count now 2 balls and a strike.
It'd be interesting to see how many pitchers Owings uses tonight, playing back-to-back games against the Blues.
2-1 pitch. Nice cut. Foul to the back screen. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, same 2 teams tomorrow night. 7 p.m. Eastern time, weather permitting. First pitch from the ballpark at Panthersville. Spend a little bit of time out there, usually from February to May. Here's the 2-2. Fastball high and outside, and a count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
They just thought about, too, with this team known as the Blues Brothers movie debuted 40 years ago this week.
Did not know that. Payoff pitch with a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Grouse delivers, swung at, missed, he struck him out.
3 in a row.
3 consecutive strikeouts. Stamps to close out the 6th, and Jones and Hudson to start the 7th. So now 2 down here for the Blues. And it brings up the catcher, Cameron Pauser.
Now batting number 11.
He's got some
Cameron
velocity on these
Pauser.
pitches, too, Dave, but more importantly, how about the location?
Well, location, and he's overpowering him with his fastball. Got to be upper 80s, low 90s. Lincoln Memorial University for Cameron Pauser, who steps in. So far, he's grounded into a double play and has walked, and he was aboard for the Chandler Hicks 2-run home run back in the 5th. So he has scored a run, takes ball 1 on the first pitch from Grouse. Right-hander delivers. Fastball high, a little inside, 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Seventh inning here in Gainesville. 3-3 ball game. Here's the 2-0. Strike on the outside corner. It's a check swing. It's now 2-1. Chandler Hicks awaiting on deck. Should Pauser keep the inning alive here for the Blues? Here's the 2-1 delivery. Low and outside. Ball 3, a 3-1 count.
You don't want him to reach base.
3-1 pitch on the way. From the stretch, Grouse delivers. Strike on the outside corner. And he runs the count full, 3-2.
Now, what are you going to throw, Dave?
It's going to be an overpowering fastball is what it's going to be, Mike.
Thank you. Looking for some heat.
Count full, 3-2. Grouse comes set. Turns, delivers. And this one here is going to be hit in the air, and it's going to drop in the gap in left center. And making the turn and then turning back to first is going to be Pauser. Nice job.
He takes into the gap.
That'll be hit number 5 for the Atlanta Blues. The first hit of the night for Cameron Pauser, who picks up his first hit of the night. That's his 3rd hit of the summer. And here's Chandler Hicks, the extra hitter. He's had a pretty good night tonight. Doubled. I think they're going to call catcher's interference.
Oh, wow. Ends up being an error, right, Mr. Score? Yes.
Batting number 15, Jaden Anderson.
So it brings up the right fielder, Jaden Anderson.
And Dave, 4 of their 5 hits have been extra base hits, 3 doubles and a home run.
So here's Anderson stepping in. First and second, 2 outs for the Blues. That pitch in the dirt, nice job there by Stewart behind home plate. And Stewart will walk the ball back out to the mound. That may have jumped up and bit him a little bit. He's going to use the extra time to walk it off on the walk out to the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, just go ahead and say, instead of putting down fingers, here's what I want you to throw for the next few pitchers. Strikes, fastballs.
Anderson, a freshman from Duluth. 5 hits on the summer. Came in at 286. A 1-0 from Grouse. Fastball outside a little high. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Anderson with the RBI double back in the 3rd. 5 hits, 3 RBIs on the season, on the summer, I should say. Here's the 2-0. That's low in the dirt, and it's going to make its way to the back screen. Runners advance. The Blues now have runners at 2nd and 3rd. Heading over to 3rd is Pauser, and Hicks will pull into second base.
That's what I mentioned too. Stewart had to go get it because you never know when the ball gets by you here at Ivy Watson Field. He could have scored all the way from second base, Dave.
A 3-ball, no strike count here to Anderson. 3-3 ball game here in the 7th. Grouse comes set. Straight on fastball, misses. Taken for ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Another walk given up by Grouse here in the 7th inning.
Jeremy Clark, third baseman.
33, Jeremy Clark.
Clark so far tonight has struck out and has flown out to right field.
So now you got to get this one out. 3-3 game, top of the 7th inning.
Time called as head coach Micah Owings will make his way out to the pitcher's mound for a quick conference.
He may bring the hook too. Let's see what Micah ends up doing.
Has not taken the ball from Grouse as of yet.
Nope, not yet. But good time to give some instructions to his pitcher. And I mentioned in one of our earlier broadcasts too, Dave, one of the things too you got to work on here is you know you're going to have adversity, and also how you're going to make the adjustments in the game to see how you can end up coming up with a victory.
So the conference breaks up. Mike Owings on the way back to the dugout. Grouse is going to stay in the ball game and face Jeremy Clark, the Atlanta Blue third baseman, who's 0 for 2 on the night. Bases loaded, 2 outs at a 3-3 ball game here in the top of the 7th. Grouse comes set. First pitch on the way to Clark. Fastball missed high, ball 1.
So a double and 2 walks have lowered the bases up for the Blues and know where to put this one.
1-0 delivery, swung at, missed. Count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That helped.
Pauser, the lead runner, over at third after the 2-out single. Here's the 1-1. Fastball low, backhanded stab by Stewart, the catcher. It's a 2 ball, 1 strike count. The 2-1 from Grouse, swung at, missed. Clark now in a 2 ball, 2 strike count situation. And 1 strike away from getting out of this one. Here's Austin Grouse on in relief of the starter, Tyler Dietz. 2-2 from the stretch. Delivers, misses high and inside, ball 3. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bases loaded here in the 7th. Big pitch coming up here to say the least. 3-2 delivery. Grouse delivers, and it's fouled off over on the first base side there by Clark. So everybody back to their respective bases. Grouse is going to try it again here. See if he can overpower Clark at home plate on this 3-2 delivery. Right-hander comes set. Takes a breath, turns, delivers. Nice cut with a fastball down the middle. It's fouled off to the screen right in front of us.
He challenged him there, Dave.
Sure did.
Let's redo it.
Clark digs back in, 3-2 pitch on the way. Right-hander comes set, here's the pitch. Turns and fires, missed up top, ball 4, and that's gonna walk in the go-ahead run. It's a 4-3 ball game now here in the top of the 7th.
And that's 3 straight walks, too.
So Pauser will come in to score the go-ahead run. That 2-out single comes back to haunt the Gol'Diggers. And we're at the top of the order again here in the 7th. The left fielder, Angelo Ramirez.
Batting number 1, Angelo Ramirez.
And all this has come with 2 outs in the inning.
Ramirez delivered his first hit of the night with a 6th inning single, although he was left stranded. He's got an RBI opportunity right here. First pitch, big cut, fouls that one to the fence behind home plate. No balls and a strike.
Again, the 3 men on the bases for the Blues, all reached by a walk.
Well, you had a single by Pauser, catcher interference, and then back-to-back walks.
Yep.
After the 2 strikeouts. Swing and a miss on the second pitch there by Ramirez. He's behind in the count here, facing Grouse. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I forgot about the catcher's interference.
So Grouse gets the sign from Stewart. He's ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 down. Right-hander turns, delivers. Missed up top and outside, ball 1.
And when he misses Dave on the balls, he's missing up high for the most part.
One-two pitch coming up. Grouse comes set, turns, delivers. Swung at, missed. He struck Ramirez out. He ends up striking out. All 3 outs here in the 7th. But the single comes back to haunt him, as do the 2 walks as they walk in the go-ahead run. It's a 4-3 ball game now, Atlanta.
And it's 7th inning stretch time here from Ivy Watson Field. The score is now the Atlanta Blues 4, the Gol'Diggers 3, as you're tuned to 97.5 Glory FM. time the Diggers trailed by a run. It's 4-3 Atlanta Blues as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and a pitching change being made, Dave.
Sure do. We've got a right-hander make that a left-hander coming in the ball game, and that is Francisco Aral. He's out of Rex, Georgia, 6'2", out of Savannah State University. So he's going to get a few warm-up tosses here before we begin play here in the bottom of the 7th. And what is now a 1-run lead here for visiting Atlanta.
And it happened after 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning for the Blues. And how big was that double play in that last inning for the Diggers? When you had Anderson going to third base and just that...
On that lunging swing.
Yes.
Yep. No question.
So let's do it again. They come back up after trailing 3-2. Now they trail 4-3 here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, the change is down.
Did just get an update. And the pitcher is Christopher Williams, wearing number 25. And the
pitching number 25, Christopher Williams.
And that's been the thing about it, is you have these rosters that seem to fluctuate each and every game, Dave. And so now we get the correct name and number for you.
Batting for the Gol'Diggers, number 5.
I know Mike can tell me he had a game the other night where the commissioner called him and he's got 2 28s on the team. He said, yeah, one's in Athens right now, so I had to use one.
So leading things off here as we play the bottom of the 7th. It's the third baseman, Clay Alberson. He's 0 for 2 tonight, a couple of fly ball outs, 1 to left, 1 to center. First pitch taken from Christopher Williams, taken for ball 1. Left-hander winds, delivers, swung at, missed. Count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. May have foul tipped that into the catcher's mitt of Pauser. Nonetheless, it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Alberson out of Pelzer, South Carolina, North Greenville University. As you were saying, Mike, Division II national champions.
Yep.
Good ball club, to say the least.
And haven't I heard, too, they're going to move it to Division I to the Atlantic Sun Conference? I believe so. I have to double check that.
I'm not sure if I've heard that 2-1 pitch. Low and outside, good eye there by Alberson. They'll check with the umpire down at third, Rusty Griffin. He says no, did not go around. It's a 3 ball, 1 strike count.
I think it was, I think their football team. Maybe that's what it is, going to join the A-Sun.
3-1 pitch. Williams, the left-hander, into the wind. And get out of the way. That one missed with ball 4. Thought it might hit him. But a leadoff walk to Clay Alberson puts the tying run down at first to start things out here in the bottom half of the 7th.
And once again, the leadoff hitter reaches for the Gol'Diggers.
And it brings up the shortstop, Bobby Bozer.
For the Gol'Diggers, number 8, Bobby Bozer.
1 for 2 on the night, a 2-run home run back in the 2nd. Fly ball out to center field in the 4th.
A little deja vu for Bobby.
And the first pitch he'll face from Williams. Fastball low and inside, ball 1. Again, the head coach, Joe Austin, played his college baseball at Alabama State University in Montgomery and spent time in professional ball in the Texas Rangers organization. A 1-0 pitch on the way. And that one took a bounce, I think, off a home plate. That'll allow Alberson to head down to second base. So now the tying run down at second with nobody out, and a wild pitch there from Christopher Williams.
I think you're right, too. I think he hit the plate, and you didn't know where it was going to go. So now a base hit will tie the game.
2 ball, no strike count as Boser will have a quick word here with Micah Owings as time is called. Pauser walked the ball back out to Williams to settle him down a little bit. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors tonight for the host Gol'Diggers. Trying to pick up their 7th win of the season. Right now trailing by a run here in the 7th. Williams comes set and misses. This one gets away from Pauser to the back screen, and Alberson will head over to third. So now the tying run at third base here for the Gol'Diggers.
So a walk, a wild pitch, and now just a fly ball could get you the tying run in.
3-ball, no strike count here to the shortstop, Bozer. Williams 3-0 pitch showing bunt, and that's going to be ball 4 anyway. The Gol'Diggers will now have runners at the corners.
I think they remember that home run ball earlier in the game, Dave.
A couple of back-to-back walks. Throw in a couple of wild pitches. And you got runners at the corners here for Gainesville. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th, and it brings up Caleb Ellard.
Caleb Ellard.
The right fielder has struck out and has walked and scored a run.
So watch Bozer on first. That's going to be the key run right there, Dave.
Williams fastball misses low, ball 1.
And he's come in throwing a lot of balls.
I'm not sure he's thrown a strike yet. 1-1 delivery. Runner goes from first. Here's the throw down to second. Not going to be in time. The runner at third, Alberson, will hold, although he took about 2 or 3 steps off the bag. Now runners at second and third here for the Gol'Diggers. Nobody out, bottom of the 7th.
We saw one game, Dave, with a runner going down the second, got caught in a rundown. Then the runner from third ended up scoring on a stolen base.
Williams comes set, 1-0 pitch. Swung at, missed. Slider on the outside corner, a little low. Count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Correction, a 2-ball, 1 strike count.
Thank you, Mr. Score.
And there's strike 2 on a fastball right down the middle. That'll even things up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
First base is open for the Diggers.
Second and third, nobody out. 4-3. Gainesville trailing a run here to Atlanta. Williams 2-2 pitch. Missed up top. That'll run the count full now, 3-2.
Looking for a 7th inning rally here at home.
Count full, here's the 3-2 delivery. And nice cut by Ellard, fouls it off. Sounded like him off the shin guard of Pauser. Went to the back screen. Count still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, second and third here in the 7th. Williams 3-2 pitch again. Ellard digs in. Here it comes. Swung at, missed. He struck him out. So Ellard down on strikes. First out here in the 7th for Gainesville. And here's the catcher, Sam Stewart.
Well, Sam reached his last time on that sacrifice bunt. They end up reaching first base safely.
Well, they're going to call Stewart back to the dugout, and we're going to have a pinch hitter.
Okay.
Stewart, by the way, had been 1 for 2.
On the base that I talked about.
And the pinch hitter is
number 6, Sam Gilliam.
Samuel Gilliam.
Here's the catcher from Dublin, California.
Gilliam hitting .214 in 7 ball games. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1.
Again, Sam, one of the 3 catchers for the Gol'Diggers.
Out of Chabot College, out there in California. A 1-0 delivery on the way. The left-hander turns, fires, swung at, foul, tipped into the glove, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. 1 out, 2 on, second and third here for Gainesville, trailing a run. Left-hander turns, delivers, fastball high and outside, 2-1 the count.
If he just get it to the right-hand side of the infield or a fly ball.
Big gap right there in between second and first. Punch it right out into the shallow right field. Two-one delivery. Williams comes set. Sign from Pauser. Turns, delivers. That's going to be on the ground to short. Going to score the run. The only play is going to be to first for the Blues. We got a 4-4 ball game. Alberson, Mike, will score from third.
Give the RBI out there to Sam Gillian. And as Dave said, we are tied at 4-4 once again. Getting that leadoff man on, Dave.
Picks up the RBI. And we got a 4-4 ball game here in the bottom of the seventh. And another runner at third in Boser for the Gol'Diggers.
Now, two-out hit could give the team the lead, but watch out again for a wild pitch.
Though Gilliam puts it on the ground, the only play was to
Batting number 20, Michael Bruiser.
the only play was to first. Alberson, good speed from third. And first pitch, Williams way outside.
As you heard, Michael Bruiser batting for the Gol'Diggers.
Bruiser out of Chandler, Arizona, the Arizona State University kid, hitting .231 in 9 games this year. Fastball high and inside for ball 2. In 9 games, he's hit 1 home run, has driven in 2, has walked 6 times, and has delivered 6 hits. Pitch low in the dirt. Runs it to 3-0.
I want the NIL for him and put T-shirts as Michael, then put the middle name, the Bruiser. Sell some T-shirts.
Do they have the NIL in the Sunbelt Woodbat Summer League?
Well, I'll take the commission just straight from that standpoint. Everybody goes make a deal.
3 balls, no strikes the count. 2 down here in the inning. And high and outside for ball 4. Another walk. So that'll give the Gol'Diggers runners at the corners again. First and third time called. It looks like Joe Austin, the head coach, is going to make a mound visit here with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
Right now, this pitcher is now the new official pitcher record because with the Gol'Diggers scoring this run, means a no decision for the last pitcher used by the Blues who got the lead. The runner on third base is his responsibility if Coach Austin decides to make a change. We're at the bottom of the 7th inning. We're all tied. It is Gainesville 4 and the Atlanta Blues 4. Again, the two teams will play tomorrow night, 7:05 game time from the ballpark at Panthersville, home of the Georgia State Panthers. Another one of those teams playing on college field. And the Gol'Diggers will be on a college field not only tomorrow night, but also on Monday as they'll travel to Reinhardt University in Waleska to take on the Waleska Wild Things coming up Monday.
Number 2, Jackson Mayo.
Top of the order again here for the Gol'Diggers with 2 outs in the inning. Runners at first and third. Williams is going to stay in the ball game, and he is going to face Jackson Mayo. And that's hit on the ground to second on the first pitch. Ball knocked down there by the Blues second baseman Miles Austin. The throw on to Brennan Hudson, and that'll strand a couple of runners.
I'd love to see him be a little more patient on that one, Dave.
4-3 on the putout, and that'll close the Gol'Diggers out here in the bottom half of the 7th, but they do tie the ball game, and we're tied at 4.
And we'll go to the 8th inning of play now, down to a 2-inning game. It is Gainesville 4.
the track, hit your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass hit be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines, serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since honeys was wearing Sassoon. Now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining. Looking like a Rob Liberace. It's so good. From Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pain. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight built it down for California, yeah. West Coast. That's right.
Leading off for the Blues, number 3, Miles Alston.
So we go to the 8th inning of play, all tied at 4.
Miles Austin will lead things off here for the Atlanta Blues. Austin Grouse still on the hill, pitching the 8th inning here for the Gol'Diggers. It'll be Austin, Greer, and Stamps, barring any pinch hitting opportunities. 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside corner, caught the strike zone there. Austin so far 0 for 3, has grounded out to short twice and has flown out to right field. A 1-1 delivery. Fastball missed low and inside, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Grouse comes set. Fastball low and outside, just to the right of home plate. Runs it to 3-1. Three balls and a strike here to Austin. Strike on the outside corner. Home plate umpire looked over to the Gainesville dugout to make sure that they knew it was a full count now. 3-2 wasn't a strikeout. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Grouse out of the stretch. Fastball hit into the air. Shortstop. Bozer is going to call for it. Backing up on the edge of the grass. Makes the catch for out number 1. Austin retired. And there's one down. It will bring up the center fielder, Alan Greer.
Well, it was good there, Dave, to get an out after a 3-2 pitch.
Now batting number 6, Alan Greer.
Greer is 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out in the first, walked in the 4th, grounded out to second in the 6th. There's the first pitch from Grouse. This hit into the air to right field. Ellard is shading back. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Ellard really did not have to move that much. I think 2 or 3 steps shading back in order to be in position to make that catch. So here's 26, Ethan Stamps, the shortstop.
Now batting number 26, Ethan Stamps.
He's 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up back in the 6th. He's grounded into a double play and has flown out to right field. And a first pitch fouled off in front of us here in the press box. He's out of Madison, Georgia. Tonight playing in his 7th game, so he will have appeared in 7 of the 11 Atlanta Blues games, hitting 176, 3 hits. Got 1 home run so far as he looks at a strike. He's quickly behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Not sure he agreed with that call. Comes set, his 0-2 delivery, missed outside with a fastball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Four runs on 5 hits. 8th inning for the Atlanta Blues as Austin, Greer, and Stamps go in order.
1, 2, 3 they go. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're still tied. It is Gainesville 4 and the Atlanta Blues 4 on 97.5 Glory FM. Hello. So we go here to the bottom of the 8th inning. Time to get a run and win a ball game, David.
We are tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Looks like a new pitcher for the Atlanta Blues. And wearing jersey number 39, it's the redshirt freshman from Gordon College down in Barnesville, Georgia, Jeffrey Waters. And he'll get a final few warm-up tosses here with Cameron Pauser. Waters again, a right-handed hurler. Again, tied at 4 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th. And due up for the Gol'Diggers. Barring any pinch hitters, it'll be Parker Brocious, John Anderson, and Riley Stanford. For the Gol'Diggers, they're 2, 3, and 4 hitters in tonight's ball game. So Brocious should be leading things off here in the bottom half of the 8th. And again, Jeffrey Waters on in relief of Christopher Williams, who managed 1 inning, gave up the 1 run, the tying run. The problem for Williams was the walks.
Now batting for the Gol'Diggers, number 9, Parker Brocious.
Williams gave up 3 walks, struck out 1, and got a ground ball out, until he finally got Mayo to ground out to second to close out the inning. But the walks were his problem and allowed Gainesville to tie the ball game. First pitch on the way to Brocious from Waters is low, taken for ball 1. Parker Brocious hit by a pitch in the first, singled in the third, a fly ball out to right field in the 5th. And the right-hander's second pitch comes in low, taken for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes to count here to Brocious. Right-hander comes set and fires a fastball strike right down the middle. Brocious, a freshman from Georgia Tech, from Swanee, Georgia, 250 in 7 games this year with an RBI. Drawn 7 walks this year. And the 2-1 missed inside, a little low, 3 balls and a strike.
And Dave, hopefully this will be the last at-bat for the Gol'Diggers in this game. It means they would win.
Bottom of the 8th here at Ivy Watson. 4-4 ball game. Line scores identical, 4 runs on 5 hits. 3-1 delivery. And a leadoff walk to Brocious.
And again, the leadoff runner, the batter gets on base. Now runner on first. Last inning, it scored the tying run.
So here's John Anderson, the extra hitter.
Now batting for the Gol'Diggers, number 29, John Anderson.
Remember, he singled to lead off the 6th and then was caught off of second on that lunging swing, caught by the shortstop, doubled up. And a quick turn and throw back over to first. There by Jeffrey Waters.
Well, the Diggers runners have been successful on this catcher for the Blues if they can get another stolen base.
And there's a fastball that's going to hit the batter, Anderson, in the shoulder. And all of a sudden, Gainesville is going to have the first 2 batters aboard here, a walk and a hit batsman.
And the go-ahead run's 180 feet away.
Yep.
So do you bunt them over or try to get a base hit?
Well, we'll see what Riley Stanford, who's looking down the third base line at Mike Owings right now, is being instructed to do here.
I'm guessing bunt.
Last 2 pitchers here, though, for the Atlanta Blues have struggled. Williams and Waters. First pitch on the way to Stanford. and gets bat on ball, but fouls this one off third base side. Sounded like he broke the bat with the swing, so he's going to walk back over towards the dugout and get a new baseball bat.
See, I thought he was trying really that lunging play he had last time. I was going for a bump. This time he was swinging at it. And I want the concession for toothpicks here from Ivy Watson. Get those bats and get some souvenirs.
And again, you heard what Micah told us top of the broadcast in the pregame, that it takes about 1,500 at-bats to get used to going from aluminum to wood.
And I forgot him. I knew it was over 100, but I had no idea it was 1,500. That's amazing, isn't it?
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be hit on the ground. It's going to find its way up the middle. Go-ahead run's going to score. Coming around is Brocious from second. He rounds third. He comes in to score. It's a 5-4 ball game as Stanford delivers the RBI go-ahead single, and it's a 5-4 game.
Riley Stanford with the RBI hit. Could be the game-winning RBI. And you could make Grouse a winning pitcher for the Gol'Diggers tonight.
A walk comes back to haunt Waters, and runners at the corners now. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Anderson is over at third, and that pitch, I believe the pitch hit Brady Moore. And so now the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out. Time called, and Joe Austin, the head coach, is going to make his way out to the mound. He's going to have a quick conversation here with his pitcher, Jeffrey Waters.
I think Ryan Casper, our PA announcer, who does a great job with music here, he's play Wild Thing. That's how it's been so far for this pitcher. He's given up the go-ahead run for the Diggers, who now lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're just 3 outs away from victory, buddy.
The last 2 innings, well, the 7th, as I mentioned, coming back in from the break, 3 walks issued, and already a walk issued in 2 hit batsmen here in the 8th inning, and that'll be it for Jeffrey Waters. He's going to make his way back into the dugout. We're going to have a pitching change here for the Atlanta Blues here in the 8th.
We'll take it with them. We're going to go back to our station for a 1-minute timeout. This pitching change being made with a score. Gainesville Gol'Diggers 5, the Atlanta Blues 4. Back in 1 minute from Ivy Watson on 97.5 Glory FM. Yeah.
That would be Colin Caldwell out of Powder Springs, University of Georgia.
And I'm going to hear the spots.
Now pitching for the Blues, number 18, Colin Caldwell.
So another pitcher being used by the Atlanta Blues. And the Gol'Diggers are, again, just 3 outs away from victory in this Sun Belt League game this Friday night. And got a University of Georgia player out there, David.
Sure do. Number 18, Colin Caldwell. He's out of Powder Springs, Georgia, 5'11", 195, a right-hander, a sophomore from the University of Georgia in Athens. And he's going to try to come in and slow things down here a little bit. It's now a 5-4 lead in favor of the host Gol'Diggers. Walks and hit batsmen have been a problem here in the 7th and the 8th for the Atlanta Blues, especially with the ball in the hands of Christopher Williams and Jeffrey Waters. And Caldwell brought in by head coach Joe Austin to keep this a 1-run ball game and send it to the 9th.
Let's go ahead and break it open here, get some insurance in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And a first batter that he will face.
Batting for the Gol'Diggers, number 15, Theo Bryant.
Going to be a pinch hitter.
Theo Bryant, who's played right field for the Gol'Diggers, Dave.
Hitting for Clay Alberson. So Bryant facing Caldwell First pitch from the left hand on the other side of the fence, first base side down the right field line.
And interesting, Dave, he come in and be first pitch swinging with his new pitcher.
Theo Bryan, a senior, Tennessee Tech, hitting .208 in 9 games this summer. He's hit 1 home run. He's driven in 3, 5 hits, 6 runs scored. Make a little noise here with the bases loaded and nobody out. And this one here going to be a chopper foul, third base side. And quickly, Bryant in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes.
You don't be over anxious, Dave, do you? Micah mentioned about being patient in our pregame show.
Caldwell comes set. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Bryant digs in. Left-hander delivers. Fastball miss low. It's 1-2.
All right, now see what Theo can do.
Ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded. 5-4 ball game. Gol'Diggers leading the Blues. Here's the pitch from the left-hander. Takes a dip in the dirt just above the plate. And taken for ball 2. Count even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now you look for his pitch.
Anderson lead runner over at third. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Turns and fires. That's a called third strike. Lower outside corner. Nice location. Bryant down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. And it will bring up the Gol'Diggers shortstop, Bobby Bozer. Again, he's got 1 hit tonight. It was a big one, a 2-run home run back in the 2nd. Since then, he's flown out to center and has walked. Drew that walk back in the 7th, part of that 3 base on ball 7th inning against Christopher Williams. And a first pitch low and outside from Caldwell. A 1-0 count here on Bozer. Caldwell, the sign from Pauser. Left-hander comes set. Here's the pitch from the stretch. Breaking ball right into the meat of the strike zone right there. Evens the count at 1-1.
Again, just get the ball to the right-hand side of the infield again or get a fly ball.
Anderson, the runner at third. A 1-1 from Caldwell. Way outside. Nice stab there by Cameron Pauser, the catcher. And the count now 2-1. From Caldwell. Swung at, missed, couldn't catch up to his fastball on the lower outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 1 down here in the inning. Gol'Diggers a 1-run lead. Looking to add more here with 1 out and the bases full. Two coming up here from Caldwell. Left-hander delivers, and that's going to be hit on the ground. It's going to be a little number caught by the first baseman, Brennan Hudson, and he dives back into the bag to turn the double play. Wow. Second time we've said that tonight, haven't we?
How about that? Yeah, wow, from that standpoint. But the Diggers take a 5-4 lead with 3 outs away from victory. Got to hold them, Gainesville, as we go to the top of the 9th inning. It's the Gol'Diggers 5 and the Atlanta Blues 4 as you're tuned to Sun Belt League Baseball on 97.5 Glory FM.
Moore was caught off first.
So who's going to pitch? I can't see Grouse finishing it.
As soon as I see a number, we'll know. So it was 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Yep, it's Grouse still out there.
Wow. How about that, Michael? the 9th inning of play. Gol'Diggers looking for their 4th straight home victory, Dave. They have been successful in every game we've had broadcast so far this season. It's game number 10, looking for their 7th win of the season. And Grouse is going to come in to try to wrap this up to get the victory with a 4-inning relief appearance.
And he will face the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Dylan Jones, Brendan Hudson, and Cameron Pauser. Looking to close this one out and take game 1 of this back-to-back home-and-home series.
Now, I wonder how long Mike Owings might let him go if anybody reaches base here in the 9th inning.
Leading off for the Blues, number 9, Dylan Jones.
Here's Dylan Jones, hit by a pitch in the 2nd, grounded out to 3rd in the 4th, and struck out in the 7th. 5-4. Gol'Diggers leading it here, top of the 9th in Gainesville. First pitch. Oh, breaking ball, had a lot of movement up top and outside, taken for ball 1.
Another dramatic finish for us here. 1-run game at the top of the 9th inning.
1-0 pitch on the way. Right-hander from the stretch. Fires and hits the corner of the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. Good location right there. Jones again coming in tonight as a .348 hitter with 8 hits. He's been held hitless so far tonight in 3 plate appearances. Time called as he steps out of the box. Grouse comes set, 1-1 delivery on the way. Right-hander turns, fires, and that one in the dirt, got underneath the mitt.
And gets it. That's Sam Stewart. Look at Sam Gilliam catching now for the Gol'Diggers.
Got underneath Gilliam's catcher's mitt.
So Gilliam did come in for Stewart.
Fastball fouled off on the 2-1 pitch. Evens things up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled off over on the first base side.
Probably check and see if Alberson's playing third still. We'll check that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Grouse delivers, and he plunks Jones in the back with a fastball. Looking at a breaking ball. The problem is it never broke back over the zone. And to start the 9th inning, the leadoff hitter aboard. How many hit batsmen have we had tonight?
I think it's 4 2 weeks up.
Baseman. Struck out his last time up back in the 7th. He's popped out to short and has walked tonight as well.
Again, the question is how long will Mike let him go? He's into his 4th inning of work.
Runner goes, here's the bunt, it's in the air, it's going to be caught by Grouse. And Jones gets back to first base in time, 1 out here in the 9th.
Big out there by Grouse.
Thought we were going to have a collision with Grouse and the 3rd baseman. By the way, that's Brady Moore over at 3rd right now.
Number 11,
Yeah, he's changed his, of course. Also, Theo Bryant came in for Elder. I think he's probably playing right field for the Diggers.
He's in for Ellard out in right. Fastball fouled off by Pauser.
I think that's all the changes, Dave.
No balls and a strike. Here to Cameron Pauser, the catcher. Fastball, a strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Pauser hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd. Walked and scored a run on the 2-run home run in the 5th. And singled and scored a run in the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball missed up top. A ball and 2 strikes.
Let's go ahead and do a double play, Dave. Leave here, as you say, with a W.
That's what we say. A 1-2 count here on Cameron Pauser. Grouse comes set, turns, fastball, struck him out. On a 1-2 fastball, he chased it up top, and there's 2 down here in the top half of the ninth.
And 1 out away from victory.
And this guy's been a tough out tonight,
Batting number 4,
and that's
Chandler Hicks.
Chandler Hicks. Doubled and scored a run in the 3rd, 2-run home run in the 5th, reached on that catcher's interference ruling in the 7th. The tying run at first for the Blues, and the bat of Hicks in the box at home plate. Fastball low and outside, ball 1. Grouse knows he's got to be careful.
Extra careful here, Dave.
1-0 delivery on the way. Grouse comes set, gets the sign. Fastball swung at, missed. Count even out, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Couldn't catch up with it. That's a good sign here in the top of the 9th inning. Getting his 4th inning of work. He came in the 6th inning in relief.
1-1 delivery. And that's going to be a chopper to short. Those are going to field it. Throw across is going to be in time on a hop. It was fielded nicely by the Gol'Diggers first baseman, Riley Stafford, and that's your ball game. Grouse comes in and gets the 3 outs here in the 9th. And how big was that run in the bottom of the 8th inning for Gainesville with all of those walks and those hit batsmen and the runs scored by Parker Brocious. 7th win of the season tonight for Micah Owings and the Gainesville Gol'Diggers as they take the opening of the 2-game series against the Atlanta Blues here at Ivy Watson, Mike.
Final score was the Gainesville Gol'Diggers 5 and the Atlanta Blues 4 back in 1 minute. Wrapped it up for you live from Ivy Watson Field on 97.5 Glory FM.
You want to try to get a player or just
No, get out of here. Get out of here.
What's the line score over there?
Time of the game was 2 hours and 30 minutes. Another dramatic finish for you here from Ivy Watson Field as the Gainesville Gol'Diggers win again. They're now 7-3 of the season, as Dave mentioned, and they win tonight's ball game by a score of 5-4 over the Atlanta Blues.
Final line score tonight, Mike, for the Atlanta Blues. They score 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors. For Gainesville, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. As you mentioned, Gainesville has now won 4 of their last 5 ball games as they go to 7-3. And the Atlanta Blues now 5-6.
And again, they'll play tomorrow night at 7:05 from the ballpark at Panthersville, home of the Georgia State Panthers and the Atlanta Blues. Again, game time at 7:05. Then the Gol'Diggers will be on the road in Waleska there at Reinhardt University, home of the Waleska Wild Things on Monday. They'll also play at 7:05. And back here with our next broadcast next Wednesday night at 6:15 with our pregame show, 6:35 first pitch. Joe Gailey back will be coming up next Wednesday as it will be the Waleska Wild Things and the Gainesville Gol'Diggers. That should determine who will be in first place in the Sun Belt League East, buddy.
Bobby Bozer, the 2-run home run back in the 2nd to get the offense going. They scored 2 in the 2nd. They scored 1 run in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th, and 1 run, the go-ahead run in the 8th inning. The margin of victory here tonight, and you know the win goes to Grouse, who pitched a fabulous final 4 innings coming in for Tyler Dietz, and they ran into trouble, the Blues did, when they brought in Christopher Williams and Jeffrey Waters. Too many walks, too many hit batsmen, equaling too many opportunities. Now granted, Gainesville didn't score everybody, but they scored the one that they needed in order to get this win.
The one thing we have not mentioned about, we mentioned about starting pitching the importance of the bullpen in the Sun Belt League, and it showed tonight here for the Gol'Diggers.
Yep, sure did, and a great win and a great way to start this two-game series.
And you also had to look at how you manage your team here. You look in, David, your third game in 4 days because you played on Wednesday, play tonight, and you play tomorrow night. So you got to watch out how, especially, you work your relief pitchers.
Well, that's what made the performance tonight for Austin Grouse that much more meaningful. Didn't have to go to his bullpen, was able to save some of the arms, knowing that they've got to go ahead and travel into Atlanta tomorrow night and play this Blues team again, game 2 of the series.
And, Jordy, you know what's going to happen? They're going to say, hey, Dave, Robbins, a victory. You got to stay here. So I'll see what we might do for you later this season, okay?
Yep, sounds good, Mike.
All right. We enjoyed a great job here by Dave, Phil, and Garen for Joe this evening. That's Gainesville Gol'Diggers baseball this evening here on 97.5 Glory FM. Tonight's game was brought to you by Conditioned Air Systems, by NGPG Ortho and Sports Medicine, by North Hall Ace Hardware, and by North Hall Tire and Wheel. And for the entire sports team at 97.5 Glory FM and Team Glory Sports, for producer Nathan Laddie, for Joe Gailey, and for Dave Cohen, I'm Mike Warford. Make sure you join us next time on your radio station for North Georgia Sports. 97.5 Glory FM. And on those winning Friday night from Ivy Watson Baseball Field, good night, everybody.